Alright, welcome back to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. This is going to be my first draft in Magic the Gathering Arena. I have done real drafts and enjoyed them. It's one of my favorite formats. Did a little bit of research and watched a couple other videos and noticed that there are some significant differences. The biggest differences that I noticed is that there was no counter drafting occurring. No one taking good cards to prevent another player in that draft from getting them. And I quickly learned as I looked into it, so I was like, why? These guys are using wonderful terms that get used. There's no signaling, but they definitely know the talk of Magic better than I do at this point because I've been out of the game for so long. But they were using terms that made me feel like these guys know what they're doing. But they never said anything about signaling, which seemed like it was impossible because of the electronic format. And they never talked about counter drafting, which definitely struck me as odd. Like, why would they leave that powerful card in there, even though it's off color? Why would they leave that for somebody else to pick? Well, for those of you just as new as I am, the reason is because no one's drafting with you, which also goes to the other aspect that I was looking at. Is it didn't seem like they were in a rush to make their picks. They weren't on a timer. They could just take however long they wanted, which is an aspect that you can't do in real life. There's a timer, and I have historically been one of the slowest pickers in a draft, and never cared. Never cared that I was one of the slowest pickers. It became a joke amongst my gaming friends. Hurry up, John. John J is my name. I'm going as Gamer J, but Hurry up, John was a thing, and still is amongst those friends. It's just something that's stuck for over a decade. And will probably come up from time to time amongst them in the future as well. So I am a slow picker in drafts, so the fact that there is no actual drafting table or pod and no timer definitely works to my advantage, and obviously works to every YouTuber's advantage when it comes to doing drafts. Let's see, I've got cast black or red spells as a 750 daily. I'm not going to target black and red for my draft specifically for that, but it would be great. I've obviously got plenty of room for more dailies to come up, so I don't need to rush that right now. Got some ideal time to do some recording, so I will try to record a couple of videos on this. I'm not sure really how the draft play works. Obviously in real life you're in a tournament and you have to be back for your matches. Here I think it's very possible that I put together my deck and I don't play right away, and so I can come back and play tomorrow and record then. So if I have to go through all my games tonight, then I will probably do that. If I don't, then I won't. Either way, I will try and break up the recordings by game. So I will do my first recording is just going to be a draft. That's all that we're doing here is in this particular video. It should just be what cards I pick and what deck I intend to play with. And then I'll cut the recording and start a new one for my first game. I'm brand new to all of this YouTubing, brand new to this free-to-play account, so I'm not a master with any kind of video editing. In fact, I don't think I have any video editing software. I might. That's how new I am to it. So my intent is to just do the best I can with what I've got and the knowledge that I have, and just use my record button that I have on this OBS tool and stop my recordings with that and start a new one with that. So that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and get started with no further ado. See if I can't figure out how to actually join the draft. I think it has to be ranked draft to spend my 5,000 gold. Yes. All right, so one card at a time. 40 card deck, so it looks like you can't make more than a 40 card deck. Most people in drafts wouldn't, even if they could. I've been known to do 1 or 2 cards more. I find that it helps with some balancing issues from time to time. But yeah, I always try and keep as close to 40 as I can. Looks like I don't have that option, as it specifically says that it will be a 40 card deck. Receive prizes card. First time you get to 7 wins. So the first time I get the 7 wins, you get a bonus card. The amazing people that post all the time, they have no problems doing that, it seems, or at least getting to the 6 wins, which I think is when you get your money back, as it were. So yeah, if I were paying gems, then I would not get my gems back at 5 wins. At 6 wins, I do. So definitely want to go for 6 wins if possible. In my case, any gems is good, but I don't get my loot. I don't get to do this again until I get another 5,000 coins, unless I get to 6 wins. Alright, no idea what I'm doing. I'm very new to M20, have not played real Magic in a very long time. Shock is really the only card here that I'm very familiar with. Seen some good things said about Tombbound Lynch. Let's see, Embodiment of Agonies is our rare. Flying Death Touch, that's good. It's only a 3 cost. Enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counters on it for each different mana cost among non-land cards in your graveyard. For example, 3 and 3 are different mana costs. Okay, well that's interesting. It's not different mana types, it's different mana costs. So the more mana curve that I have in my graveyard, the bigger this guy gets. Flying Death Touch is definitely not something to overlook. In my case, I don't have this card. I've got a pretty new account. I may consider rare drafting it just for that. This is a great 1-drop, and in limited it can destroy something that's much bigger. What does this guy do? Scampering Scorcher. Enters the battlefield, create 2/1 red elemental creature tokens. Elementals you control gain haste until the end of turn. Okay, so you got 2 that can attack right away. It's not it's a creature itself. So you got 3 1/1s with haste. Not too bad for 4 cost. Let's see. Whenever it enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay, I can see how it'd be useful in limited. But the discard, not really something I'm up for. So I do know that things wheel, that there is a computer that will draft against me, basically. So I have no idea what's going to wheel around with the. There's no signaling, and there's no counter drafting. So I assume that rares and uncommons go first, and from there maybe the computer does some counter drafting based off of most popular picks. There's probably an algorithm for that. But yeah, I think I'm just going to start off with my rare draft. Looks like a decent card. I'll enjoy using it. This I've heard good things about, but let's go with rare. All right. Portal Sanctuary. Return target creature you control and each aura attached to it to their owner's hands. Activate this ability only during your turn. It's an artifact. to balance creatures. Well, that's it's actually pretty good. It's colorless. It's colorless activation. It's 3 to put it out, but it's colorless activation and tap, and it's only during my turn, which sets up good attacks. Weaponsmith, I heard really good things about this guy actually. I don't know what that is adding. It adds 2, I presume that's colorless. Add 2 colorless. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. That makes sense for colorless. Blue, search your library for a card named Heartpiercer Bow or Vial of Dragonfire. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. So it searches. It's a 1/3 for 2. So 1/3 for 2 is not bad. I like black blue. Hopefully that guy wheels. Blade Brand. Negate. Yeah, I mean, we're taking the Weaponsmith. I'm just taking a bit of a look to see what else is out there, and like I said, I'm very unfamiliar with the set. I'm currently running red-black. I did manage to get, I feel like, having played other free-to-play games, my very first pack that I opened a Mythic Chandra. And I feel like that's because it's my very first pack, because in other free-to-play games, you get something really awesome very early on. One thing that's really awesome to try and keep you hooked, make you feel like you're lucky. I don't know if that's across the board, but if everyone gets Chandra, if everyone just gets something that's a mythic rare, and some people get boned by not getting a great mythic rare like I did. I don't know, but that is what I got. So red is definitely on the board for me. And I like control. So right now, I just went the route of red-black, and I'm moving towards getting some blue. So I might go red-blue. That would be pretty fun for me. Aggro control is kind of like what I like. I'm talking about all this and not looking at my cards, but I don't have a timer. Sorry about that. That I don't have a timer, and if you're going to watch me, you might have a little bit of mumbling to hear. Season of Growth, definitely something I've heard good things about for limited, but it's off color at this point. Let's look at what we have on color. I'm definitely not committed, and I can go any direction still. I have nothing that I feel like is going to carry me through everything. Like, I don't have any bombs. When Gruesome Scourger enters the battlefield, deals damage to target opponent or planeswalker equal to the number of creatures you control. So I don't know if it automatically does 1 for itself. It's 5 for a 3/3 that can also do direct damage. That would be better in my black-red deck, and I think it's going to be here. Creatures are, they're very careful balance in limited. The spell can't be countered. Fire deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker that's white or blue. So not to a player, only the white or blue. So definitely not taking that. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. When you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. That's pretty amazing. I think I might take that from what I've got here. Let's see if there's an amazing common that draws my attention. There's probably something here. A Rabid Bite draws my attention. Seeing that do some things. Thicket Crasher. Other elementals you control have trample. Let's see, reduce to ashes. Is it only creatures? It is only creatures. So that does reduce its usefulness a bit. Sleep paralysis. Enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So there are other things that someone could do with that creature, but it's pretty good. Counter target non-creature spell. Negate looks good. Frostlinks. Enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. They don't untap during their next untap step, so that's pretty good. They control Cloudkin, Seer, flying, draw a card, 2/1. That's pretty good. So I think for me it's between Season of Growth and Cloudkin Seer. I'll let my dogs out real quick, and I'll be right back because I can still hear me, right? They're gonna bark if I don't let them out. They're gonna bark when I do let them out, but give them a chance. Alright, so yeah, it's really between that Season of Growth and Cloudkin Seer. Cloudkin Seer is still on color for where I'm at. That is not a reason for me to not take Season of Growth. Gosh, I feel like it's a tough choice for me though. Really like flyers for drafts. Also really like card draw. And so it's when you cast a spell that targets a creature you control. So that's not nearly as good as I was thinking it was. Needed it to be enchantment heavy for that, or buff heavy. Should be easy enough to get some of those in a draft, in a real draft. Well, maybe not in this particular set, knowing the Season of Growth is out there. I'm going to go with Cloudkin Seer because that's a guaranteed card draw. This one, not so much. If I get another chance at Season of Growth, I might take it, but Cloudkin beats it for me. Let's see. Pattern Matcher, I think does pretty well in this set. So I can probably get more Cloudkin Seers. I'm not going to get any more of either of those. Let's see what else. Because I don't really have to look at being it's off colored too much. It's a bomb. And I'm not likely to find that at this point. Heart Piercer Bow, I should probably take that now, given that I have the Weaponsmith, right? Creature attacks, Heart Piercer. Well, let's not ignore these other options. So there's a Flyer, who can hit for 2 on the attack, or on defense. Pattern Matcher is not horrible. Search. Same name as another creature you control. Black, I've also got this Audacious Thief. Draw a card and you lose a life. Well. Like that Feral Invocation, but I think I've got to take Audacious Thief. Keep me drawing cards, be right back, but I'll let the dogs in. I do see an Epicure of Blood. Alright, so there is a green equipment. I don't think that works with, no, it's just those 2 artifacts it'll go for. Can use it for activating, but this thing, this does have an equip. So, Wolf Rider Saddle enters the battlefield, create a green wolf creature token, then attach this to him. Creature gets +1/+1, can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. So it's a 3/3 creature and equipment that can move around a little bit. I don't feel like equipment goes when a creature that has it equipped goes, but I don't remember. Equipment was very popular in sets that I didn't play a lot of. So I might just do it just to find out, but not in this case. Sedge Scorpion, good stuff. Let's take a look at some of these other blue options. Oh, a bomb. It's not a huge bomb, but it's a bit of a bomb. It's 5/5 Death Touch. Target creature you control. Draw a card. Well, that'd be useful to use along with that green card that I passed up earlier. Frilled Sea Serpent. Can't be blocked at this turn. A 4/6. Not quite a bomb either. It's also 6. But it can't be blocked. It can be unblockable. That's pretty good. Whenever another blue creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. Well, that could be a difference maker. And whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. Right now, I don't have anything that's gaining life. I do like this card for a vampire deck with Death Touch, or with life drain. And the Netcast Spider. Anything with reach can do well in limited format because of people like me that like to draft flying. So there's no flying options here. There's Samil, which is neat. There's I think I have to go with a bomb. The mill's neat. I have to go with either the Frilled Sea Serpent or the Feral Abomination. Neither one has flying. They both cost 6. Double blue, and I've got a double black. Not happy about doubles for either. Sacrifice Evolving Wild, search your battlefield tap. Oh, I like that. It's a deck thinner. But I think I've got to go for the one that could potentially be unblockable, as that could win a game. And 6 defense can be hard. It's harder to overcome than 5 defense. There are spells that it's not susceptible to, or much less susceptible to. So I'm going to go with the Frilled Sea Serpent. I've heard good things about Diamond Knight. Rapacious Dragon enters the battlefield. Create 2 treasure tokens. I don't know what treasure tokens are. I feel like I've seen them, and they can do neat things. But otherwise he's a 3/3 for 5. He has a flying, but he's off color. Diamond Knight can do well in this format, from my understanding. There are people who love him, people who, whenever you cast a spell, like I say, you have to cast spells of a chosen color. So if I remember right, creature spells are still spells, right? They're creature spells. So I am only doing 2 colors at this point. I have to go 2/3 of one or the other color to make it more likely to be useful. Mox Prophet enters the battlefield, scry 2. Mill. Sleep Paralysis. Actually, Sleep Paralysis might be my choice. I don't have any removal right now. Yeah, I think I've got to go with Sleep Paralysis as a bit of control. On Summon, can be useful. Don't have to worry about counter drafting any of the off colors. This guy can be useful as just a pick to potentially fill in. Choose target permanent card in your graveyard that was put there from your battlefield this turn. Return it to your hand. Not really digging it. Unholy Indenture. Enchant creature. When an enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Alright, so it comes back. It's a little bit bigger. That's pretty good. I think I like that. It's not as useful as a creature, I don't think, particularly for a 3 cost, but in the right circumstances, it could flip a game, but so could on Summon. I can put my own stuff back, I can put their stuff back, and it's instant. Again, I don't have to worry about counter drafting. something that one of the reasons that I always took longer in real drafts, even when I was very familiar with the cards, is I pondered, whether or not I wanted to counter draft things, probably much more than I should have. But I always had fun at drafts, and it remains my favorite way of playing Magic. So it's between the 4/4 for 5, the Unsummon for 1, and the +1/+1 that I could maybe get onto a Frilled Sea Serpent. But it's they don't. All it does, it does nothing if they don't die. So I think. So this guy is non-land cards in your graveyard. So either of these fits that. I like them both better. It's really between Unsummon and Epicure. And I'm going to go with the 4/4. I know it's not great value, but it's a 4/4 in a format that has a bunch of not big creatures. So here's a 4/4 for 5 that doesn't do anything. So at least that one could potentially do something if I manage to gain life. Target player discards 2 cards. That could end someone's game in limited, actually. Timed Ray, I really like Mind Rot in limited. Something I was able to use in the times that I have played in past sets. Let's see. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. So it's an enchantment that doesn't give them flight. It gives them the ability to pump flight in for 2. I don't like the mana efficiency of that. I do like the mana efficiency of a 1/6 crab. It's not doing a lot at 4 for me. Sleep paralysis at 4. So I like either Stone Golem. I think maybe Mind Rot is my pick. Yeah, let's go with Mind Rot, and we'll clean things up in our next couple of packs, I guess. Blood Burglar. That looks like a solid pick for me. Lifelink on my turn. That is definitely a solid pick for me. Blade Brand. Target creature gains Death Touch until end of turn and draw a card. Great pick for me. Now we're down to off color. Season of Growth. Great card. Still can. Both these cards are cards that I looked at in that pack. I can still go green. I am not 100% committed. Heart Piercer Bow, I think, is what I have to pick here. I apparently didn't already pick. I picked something over Heart Piercer Bow. I don't remember what it was. But I definitely need that with the Renowned Weaponsmith. And the other things don't do me any good at all. Hey, my other bomb 5/5 touch came back to me. And neither of these do anything for me right now, so I'm actually going to pick for my collection. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and cannot block. That's not something I really care for. And when Healer of the Glades enters the battlefield, gain 3 life. It's a 1/2 for 1. That's not bad. You can combo with other things. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's on color for me too. This is a bomb card. It is the only pick that matters here. While I intend to do free to play, I did look at some of the packs at the store and thought, I could use an arena code on this. And I did look at this card and thought, I could be a good card. I did not buy that pack. I think I'm going to go. I know that's the card I'm going to pick. I'm curious to look at these other things though. 2/2 flyer that makes creature spells with flying cost less. Definitely something I want. I'm a fan of red-white, but of course that's not what I'm doing here. Now there's white-black. White pacifism. For charge, the audacious thief, which I don't know. That could be a horrible thing for me. This is something I definitely want, and so is that. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, 4 other cards that I want from this pack. So I'm certain something will wheel back to me. Don't know what it's going to be, but there's really no choice there. All right, so I've got I got 2 uncommons on color. Blood for Bones. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then return another creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So, but it is a sorcery, so I can't sack something in response. It's not an instant. I can do it during second main phase, after I've gotten the use out of a creature. I'm reasonably creature heavy, I feel like. But I like to be a little creature heavy, along with some removal. This is not removal, so I don't feel like it's great for me. Thought Distortion. This spell can't be countered. Target opponent reveals their hand. Exile all non-creature, non-land cards from that player's hand and graveyard. It's very expensive for something that I feel like is not going to do well in limited. Limited late game, people tend to not have cards in their hands. Start to go to top decking. So, I was a little excited to see 2 uncommons, but again, not being familiar, didn't know right away that they would not be useful to me. Anticipate. I think I've heard good things about this one. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. No big deal there. But it's an instant, and it could be very useful to me. Limited, going through your deck to find the right things at the right time, very important. So this is probably my top choice, even though it's not an amazing card in and of itself. When Gorging Vulture enters the battlefield, put the top 4 cards of your library in your graveyard. In one line for each creature card, put to your graveyard this way. In the right deck, that could be very useful. In limited, not so much. It is a 2/2 flyer, which I do like. That it's a flyer. If it was just a 2/2 flyer, I'd be more interested in taking it. But its drawback can be a positive thing in the right deck, not in mine. Well, we do have some green, but and the artifacts and enchantments. There are a fair amount of both in this format, and not a lot of enchantment removal. So I do like that. But I'm still looking at Anticipate as my choice. Destroy a target creature with flying. And then, Prismite. That could be some good mana fixing. Maybe later. Anticipate's my card right now. See what else we get. Alright, Thunderkin Awakener. Somehow got past me as a rare. What is this? Pick 3. Whenever Thunderkin Awakener attacks, choose target elemental creature card in your graveyard with toughness less than Thunderkin Awakener's toughness. So 1. Return that card to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the end of the next step. More useful in elemental deck with things that have, they're like 3 1s or 2 1s. I have no idea if those exist. Embercat is not one of those. There's that Scorching Salamander. I don't know if that's an elemental. Protection from white. Unchained Berserker gets +2/+0 as long as it's attacking. That's a pretty cool card for red. Diamond Knight, definitely a solid option for me. Disenchant is a great card, but not for me. Anticipate's still useful. Train in the background, a 3/3 defender that does not have flying. Gorging Vulture again. Stone Golem. I think that I'm gonna go with Diamond Knight. Right now I don't have any couples. Oh, that's not the guy that needs doubles. This is the guy that needs color chosen. So maybe I should go with Anticipate over. Maybe I go with Anticipate, go with Stone Golem, or Diamond Knight. I think that's where I'm looking. Moat Piranhas, I've got things that cost that already. In terms of my Embodiment of Agonies guy. So Diamond Knight actually fits that better than any of them, but Anticipate is a good card. I mean, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So you're not milling, you're drawing a card, 1 out of 3 cards, you're stacking your deck, and you're getting a needed card. I think I'm still going with Anticipate. And we'll get more creatures on future picks. I do need to look towards removal. Sacrifice a Vile Dragonfire. It deals 2 damage to target creature. That could be what I need. With Renowned Weaponsmith, I can go find it. So I think that's my pick, but I've got some. There's a lot of black and blue options right here for me to look at. There's a First Strike Flyer, but he's costs 4. Alright, hardcover. Enchanted creature gets +0/+2 and has tap, draw a card, and discard a card. That could be useful in this format. And +0/+2 is not a small thing, especially for 1 mana. Yurok's Wavecrasher, 4/4 for 4. When it enters the battlefield, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. I don't think that self-bounce is very helpful to me. Convolute. Sage's Road Denizen. Again, mill. I mean, I could have had a bunch of these guys. Probably should have gotten them. Winged Words. A spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. So draw 2 cards. Well, that's amazing. I feel like I have to take the Vile Dragonfire to get better potential use out of Renowned Weaponsmith, and it is removal. I think I'm doing okay for card draw at this point. I really like Hardcover and Winged Words and Sage's Road Denizen at this point. I think I could start to lean more towards blue. But we're going with the Vile. Alright, flying, protection from red, sacrifice counter target spell that targets you. 1/1 flyer with protection red, not amazing. Heard good things about it, that it's popular in draft, but I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but it's limited. Counter target creature spell and draw a card, going to Ash. Well, that's basically removable, not quite, but it is, might be as close as I'm going to get. Another Vile Dragonfire. Return the top 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, and Soul Salvage. That runs counter to my Embodiment of Agonies, both being black. So I'm not going to run both of them. So I think it's between Vile Dragonfire, Bone to Ash, and Cerulean Drake. And in this case, I'm going to go with Bone to Ash. It's not really that much of a competition for me because I need removal. While Vile Dragonfire is removal, it doesn't give me removal and draw a card. And I already have one, which I should be able to find. Having a second one could be good. I'd much rather have a Heart Piercer bow. Whenever equipped creature attacks, Heart Piercer bow deals 1 damage to target creature or defending player. Target creature defending player controls. And there are several things with just 1 defense in our format. Yeah, the Scorch Spitter. It is elemental. That is the card I was thinking of. few picks back. All right, so the Frilled Sea Serpent is a common. Guess I didn't need to make that a massive choice earlier. Return up to Growth Cycle is an awesome card. Yeah, well, I've got something worth splashing green for. I could get something really amazing as my third pack for green. I still, I just want another Frilled Sea Serpent though, at the top of my curve. Frostlynx isn't bad. It's not a choice of removal. It's a choice of control. How am I doing on my curve? Can I check that? Just show me. Maybe I can only check between matches. Change deck layout. That's not helpful. I think I need to check my curve between matches, but take another bomb. Pay 2 life, discard a card, sacrifice a creature, create a 5/5 black demon creature token with flying. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. That could, I feel like that could win a limited game. But I've already got bombs, a couple of bombs, well, 3 of them, all costing 6. I feel like that's not a good option for me here. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 for Marauder's Axe. Duress I like. I also like the Unsummon, but I think I'm going with the Heartpiercer Bow. And I feel like maybe I'm at a good point for that stuff. Piranhas, Mind Rot. Mind Rot came back to me. I talked a lot about it earlier on. And I'm going to take Mind Rot. They can stop someone's momentum entirely. I think I'm liking the Dismal Backwater here. Whenever Audacious Thief attacks, draw a card, lose life. So drawing a card is great, losing a life not so great. As long as it's your turn. Blood Burglar has. I think I take the Dismal Backwater right now. Blood Burglar's nice. Comes into play tapped. But I got a lot of double black-blue right now, and I think I want to keep up my options for that. I'm not playing Thought Distortion. I might play Stone Golem, but I feel like even at this point I'm not playing Stone Golem. So what do I want for my red deck? Nothing amazing here, I guess. They're all commons. Tectonic Rift, destroy target land. Creatures outflying can't block this turn. Actually, that's an amazing card, and that's a game ender for certain decks. So I'm just not going to play the Stone Golem, I don't feel like. You know, the main argument to be said for running Stone Golem is for Embodiment of Agonies. Because nothing else that uses that mana cost for the +1 there. I'm also not going to play Tectonic Rift in here though, so I'll take the Stone Golem and make a decision on that later. I could have taken it here. Epicure of Blood, I will take. I don't hate it. Hardcover. What's this? Sorcerer of the Fang. Deals 2 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. It takes a long time before we can do that. My deck is not really meant for late game. If I get to late game, I have a couple of bombs. This is going to help me get to late game better than that card will. Alright. Well, got Tectonic Rift for my red deck. 3 damage to target creature with fly or destroy target artifact. Duress! I might actually use Duress. Do this. Not going to use Starfield Mystic. Enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever an enchantment you control is put into a graveyard for the battlefield, you put a +1 counter on Starfield Mystic. That looks awesome. But not for me. Not right now. I like hardcover better than I like that for my deck. I still might rare draft that. Anticipate Frostlinks, Greatwood Tracker, Vengeful Warchief. Vengeful Warchief, I feel like I looked at him earlier, but maybe I didn't. He's 5 for a 4/4. Whenever you lose life for the first time each turn, put a +1. I did not look at him earlier. I must have looked at something with similar art. This is pretty good for me. Yeah, I'm stop thinking about that. Warden of Hevos Isle, 2/2 flyer for 3 creatures. So I looked at this one earlier and I didn't take it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to take it now. I've heard good things about the Diviner's Lockbox. I've also heard bad things about it. So seems polarizing to some people. Choose a card name, then reveal the top card of your library. If that card is the chosen name, sacrifice Lockbox, draw 3 cards, activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Oh, for the yeah, I don't like it for limited here because it costs 4 to put out, a 5th to activate it. Then you're gambling for a potential draw 3, and I'm not doing bad on draw if you like. I'm into pack 3, and I don't feel like I don't have a lot of scry. Another blue creature enters battlefield under your control. Target player taps puts up to 2 of their cards of their library into the graveyard. I mean, I really could have done a mill deck with this guy. He's a 2/3 for 3. This is a 2/2 for 3 with flying. And creature spells with flying, you cast costs 1 or less. I want the Warden. Love red white, but not here. Untap another target artifact. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. I can make a creature unblockable. That's pretty good. Octoprophet as scry. I think I'm going to go with Octoprophet here. Sleep paralysis is almost removal, but not quite. No murder. Octoprophet is my option because I want some scry. Just mentioned scry a moment ago. I'm not going with black-green. Return target creature you control in each aura, so it's an artifact that lets me bounce stuff back to my hand. Sprite, Metropolis Sprite. It's a flyer, so I favor it. I got the Sorcerer of the Fang again. Not really gonna. I'm going to grab the fairy. I think I'm gonna go mostly blue with a bit of black, especially if I can get one of those Diamond Knights again. That'll definitely encourage me to go more one than the other. Well, I'm committed to black and blue here at this point. So I don't have a lot of options here. Duress is my only option on color. So I guess I can look to fill out my collection some. I don't know what I'm going to fill out though. Maybe something that I would draft in the future. I might draft Ember Hauler. Yeah, I suppose I should go for an uncommon if that's what I'm going to do. Because Duress in this format, I really want to grab their creatures. The spells can break things, but I feel like creatures are the big breakers here. Return target creature or land card from your graveyard to its owner's hand, gains 6 life. Well, that could be useful in like a reclaim deck of some kind. I don't know what kind of options there are for that in this set. I'm confident that I'm going to draft this in the future, and I think having multiple copies of something gets you something eventually in Arena. Yeah, I'm going to grab it. Again, I've got Duress, Evolving Woods, Wilds. Evolving Wilds is probably my most solid pick, or Anticipate. They're both deck thinners. I don't have anything that's triggering with spells. Evolving Wilds gets me. Oh, it's a mana fixer. Anticipate can also be a mana fixer, but it's of a different sort. It's not the same kind of deck. It costs me something. It costs me 2 mana to use it, whereas Evolving Wilds doesn't cost me any mana, so I'm going to go with Evolving Wilds. I think I'll go with Wild Dragonfire. It works with my current deck. Let's see. Oh, well. Let's look at this Cutthroat, seeing it do good things. When Fathom Fleet Cutthroat enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. So it's the second main phase card. It's a creature removal. I don't think that either of my other options do that. When Fairy Miscreant enters the battlefield, if you control another creature named Fairy Miscreant, draw a card. Cool, I don't have that. Death Touch is cool, but I am going to take Cutthroat. An awesome second main phase card. Hardcover looks to be my option, or Zephyr Charge. It's starting to look okay. This Holy Indenturist, don't like it for 3 and bring something back to life. It has to die for that 3 mana to do anything for you. And while something's going to die, it's a card as well. That could be a creature card that I cast for 3 and doing something all the time. Death Touch is amazing. Prismite is a mana fixer. And nothing. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. I think I'll take that for collection. Airstrike for not collection. Fire Element and Wild. Alright, after drafting your final card, common and uncommon cards that exceeded the 4 times collection limit increases your vault progress. That was what I was referring to with picking cards that maybe do something that I'll draft in the future, probably. So they'll do something for me just to draft them now anyway. Alright, well that took a lot longer than I thought it might. I think I'm going to stop the recording and I'll start another recording for my deck building process. I will do that now, and I hope that I don't have to play right now. I hope that I can just stop and then continue my draft later. Yeah, thank you so much for watching the draft, and we'll get a deck built, and then we'll also have a separate video for each game, so I want to keep my videos on the shorter side. Again, thank you very much for watching. Hope you all have a great day.